Why hello there fellow builders, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval, Tower of Knowledge. Episode 20, Troubleshooting the Library Tower. So we don't have a lot of meals yet, but if I wait, we ought to soon. It's not like we're low on food. We have lots of raw material for it. Let me combine the list here. Oops. 2,800. So yeah, it's not an issue. Is the clay supply looking good? Oh, shoot. Pausing the game. So we have blighted crops. Everyone who had a cut plants of 5 is going to get a cut plants of 1. Blight in this game is annoying because it spreads like super freaking fast. And it spreads like, honestly, low-key faster than you can even cut stuff. It kind of is not balanced as a result. So you really need to just like full blitz when you have blights, full blitz, cut everything as fast as you possibly can, because otherwise it will just keep spreading and spreading. If I host a feast at the 4-seater table, so the feast is for the room, it's not for the table. The table's just the triggering point. So it's not about a specific table. I know you guys are exhausted. We just gotta de-blight stuff. Because, yeah, like, the time it spreads to adjacent tiles is the time it takes to harvest stuff. So it spreads stupid fast. Which is why I'm, like, slow playing and micromanaging. Because otherwise, we'll lose all of our crop. And we have a lot of, I have a lot to lose here, but also I have a lot in stock, so it's not that big of a deal. Yep, see, Red Mist literally queued up the next cutting task and had spread to the adjacent plant before Red Mist even finished the last one. That's how fast it is. It needs nerfing, if you ask me. Because it's pretty stupid. I mean, I know they have a botany of 0, but even still, a black-thumbed person should be able to rip crops out of the ground before blight spreads to an adjacent one. Okay, we're in the clear now. Cool. Jobs. Are good. So the stability of these, if I build this correctly, there shouldn't be stability issues as I go vertically, because all of the corners are stability 4, and then the walls between the corners should be stability 3 or 4. Or 4, actually. They all should be 4. So why is this 3? Aren't you above an arch? Oh. Unless these pillars aren't 4. Yeah, this pillar is above this spot in the cellar. So this spot in the cellar might need to be landfilled or bridged, arched or something at some point for the stability above it. It's the only point that has an issue. So I'll just go ahead and do that. It'll look a little silly to do it like this, but like, it's... yeah. It's functional. And this is one of the reasons why I have the bedrooms so far away and deep from all the other structures, so they don't have a cascading stability ramifications. Because they're just not close enough to the other structures to be really an issue. So my gatehouse has like no stability problems as a result, nor do the walls or anything like that. I have unlocked the region map. So if we open up the region map here, we can see all the other locations. We have a military renown of 35% and a mercantile renown of 35%. We are seeking the intellectual one. So we're moving towards the wrong thing. But you can also see who else is out here, where they are, if there's any temporary sites, etc., etc. It's really, excuse me, nice information to have, I think, which is why I really wanted the cartography table so that I had access to that overlay. If I am to... I think for now, I'm just going to get generic chronicles and decide on the research later. I'd rather just focus on building the library than... Well, I suppose I could run the poll. So let's see. We could research Furniture 2 for better beds and lighting and chests and the like. Entertainment 1. Armory, Research 3, Ornate Bookshelf, Rug Making, Wood Carving, or Weapons generically. So here's the choices. That's not where they belong. Pump it up. There it goes. And you can vote. So whatever you guys want for next research is good with me. I'm just trying to get the library built. So you did ask the question, how is our clay supply looking? Bad. You know, in one word. So, before the snow sets in, because snow is going to make it really hard to identify clay tiles, let's go and queue up a whole bunch of, digging for clay. I'm skipping some of these tiles here because we need them to traverse, terrain. Because if I dug there, we would ultimately screw ourselves. Alright, that's some decent deposit hunting. And I know I'm still, I still haven't done the feast yet. So let's check in on our kitchen. 0 meals. What the heck? Poor Drake. Come on, man. I think poor Drake is so busy making booze. I'm just going to pause the booze bill. And I'm going to rely on you guys to remind me that the booze bill is paused. It looks like Ciceron's doing it. Oh, interesting. So that means, Ciceron, you should be pretty close to finishing the clothing queue that you had embarked upon. And as far as I could tell, that is true. So we'll have that feast once we have, like, food worth feasting with. Might be a minute. God, I have so much linen. I need to stop sowing flax, because we're drowning in flax. I'll make a smaller flax field for next season. Because we've got a stupid amount of flax. It's like, great, but also a stupid amount of flax. Alright, the last 2 pieces of clothing that probably should not be force equipped, I'm just going to force drop so that they can figure it out. And it looks like you guys want me to research Ornate Bookshelf. Making it fancy, working towards the super, super nice planetarium. Not that I have the gold for it. So this is 10 and 25. Got it. Thank you for voting. And I'll work towards it. So we got the walls up. We got the arch up. Now we just need the clay for the floors. And then once the floors go in, we'll have protection from the weather, and I'll move the research equipment in as well. And then bookshelves and the like. Raveno and Ciceron haven't put clothing back on. Probably because it's out of stockpile. No, it's in right there. You just need to go do it. You're just a nudist. Oh, there we go. So we have a decent amount of simple meals now. Perfect. Okay, so let's trigger it. Hold an event. We are going to have 10 stews, 10 roasted meat, I think 565 is like the highest I was able to get it with the variety that we have. Oh, even better now, because we could just add booze. So 615. That works. So the food quality is a little meh, but this should be a good feast. Triggering it. Dubious booze, is that moonshine or something similar? It's just like fermented fruit and mash. It doesn't go through the proper brewing. It's not made by a brewer. It's made by a cook, I think, is maybe the long and short of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we do have chairs for everyone. That was I hadn't done the math ahead of time, and I was like, oh god, are we gonna get an apostle here? Am I gonna get assassinated? But no, apparently I have a chair for everyone. We're good. We're good. This isn't my last supper. And it was enjoyable. Awesome. So we're going to have... so we didn't have a bard or anything like that. And maybe at some point we'll have bards. But an enjoyable feast is going to get a +6. And then the fact that it was beautiful in there and entertainment was fulfilled and ate in a great hall, it's going to have a lot of compounding effects, which is nice. Do not mind. Demolion, thank you for the sub. Welcome. Cheers. So we'll have to do a bit of we are going to be researching. I'm just going to start to build the research tower. And I'll work towards the ornate bookshelf. Are things like rugs and bearskin possible for decoration? Yes, oh, absolutely. There's a lot of decorations that we could add in. Wood carving, stone carvings, you know, trophies of sorts. That's really only going to increase the impressiveness of the room, which is a big factor, of course, because the impressiveness of the room imparts a benefit every meal, whereas the rest of it is only really the feast. So yeah, we could get like rug research here. You know, things like that to make the room nicer. But the room is already superior, so unless it becomes a voted priority, it's not something I intend to do anytime soon. It's a pretty nice room. Going medieval room quality. Let's see. Luxurious would be the next quality up. I just don't know how obtainable it is given the room we have now. Like how much greater it would need to be. But, you know, it's a long-term goal for sure. Oh, good. They are wearing clothing now. Perfect. So everyone has reasonable winter or reasonable clothing that isn't tattered on. So no one has any mood penalties as a result of crummy clothing, I think. Let me double check. Good. Fine. Good. Fine. Good. 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 Fine. Yeah. And none of it was tattered either. So clothing has been effectively solved. And then we'll build up a supply of like a few extra spare pieces of clothing. So I'm going to unlock the summer versions as well as the winter versions. Realistically, you kind of want to have like summer versions of the clothing, one for each colonist, but like I'm not going to go out of my way to do that. That's more effort than I think it's worth. So at this point, we just need to get more clay and burn it into tiles or whatever, bake it into tiles, and finish the floor here. It's not a lot of floor left, but it's important to get that floor up so that the room isn't raining inside as we try to like make books. Reactivate the alcohol? I will, but I'm also going to change the amount we make down to 30. Because we had like an enormous amount of booze going right now. It's like we're over boozed. Looks like a lot of friendships getting made. Our colonists are very cooperative with one another, which is great. No complaints. So some of the suffering from cold is probably as a result of, yeah, summer clothing. I figured. And without like a cap or something like that. So that will get solved as we make even more clothing, but I don't think it's necessary to fix it right now. I have no idea why you're hauling back one sapling, though. Can you guys stop throwing insults to one another, please? So as far as food goes, let's track our food amount. We did use up a fair bit, so I'm going to go to the overview, and nah, a hare carcass isn't really worth it. I don't think I'm actually going to actively hunt. I'm not too worried about the amount of food. In fact, our pantry's probably full? Yeah, it looks pretty full to me. Eventually, we might want like a seed pantry, or to just simply forbid having tree seeds in here, because collecting, yeah, I should probably do that. Collecting tree saplings is like just probably not worth our time. And I'd rather just have them rot on the ground. Unless it's apple, quince, walnut, damson, or mulberry. Because those are fruit trees, so their seeds are more valuable. So I'm going to paste the settings in. So now we're not collecting all the tree seeds, and I think I'll just dump these sapling seeds out on the ground upstairs. And I'll do the same change of bill here. So what I'm going to do is a two-step. I want to dump the seedlings that I don't want in the food stockpile here, but then I'm going to, once we move it out of the stockpile, get rid of that so we don't collect those seedlings at all. Because they're just like a waste of space, as far as I'm concerned. And that'll free up a little bit of space down here. Because, I mean, we got stuff like apple saplings, which is appropriate. Oak, willow, birch. Have I not cut down any pine? Maybe not, because we're not in the mountains. Okay, perfect. So no longer collect any seeds. So now, if I'm not mistaken, oh, I'll do that over here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I'm not mistaken, we don't really have a valid spot for those saplings anymore. And stockpile size has gone down. We don't have like an overflowing stockpile anymore. Great. We have spent the time breaking down like our flimsy junk and turning into raw resources. And we only have 2 tiles left to put in before we can start making the library a library. The library tower. Although we might be waiting on... Well, we have a lot of sticks. We have a lot of wood. We're just hauling in the wood here. So one of the things I was going to do in the room that the library currently occupies is have that be our brewing room once we have the full-blown brewing tech going, which I don't have yet, but, you know, we will get at some point. How cold is... the bedrooms aren't horrible. They're probably imparting a, like, slept in the cold, though. Especially given that Glitch is drenched. Yeah. Probably need braziers down there at some point, but as long as they're not, like, having mental breaks, I'm good for now. I'm just looking around to see how much more wood... It looks like we collected it all, as far as I could tell. No, they're still gathering some. So once we're done collecting all the wood that I had queued to cut down, we should be back to... digging. Yeah, there we go. So now we're digging up the clay. Perfect. And those floor tiles got... no. They're still not there yet. Will be soon. Keep jumping the gun. Come on. Builder, someone do it. Thank you, Radlock. Could not be any happier. Alright, let's move it. So, we're gonna have to replace a 25 book bill here when it moves, because the production queue stops on movement. And we'll put this bench maybe here. And then likewise... For the research table, this is a 10-book bill, I think. And I'll stick this one in here. The plan is to have the bottom of the tower be where we produce the stuff, and then towards the top of the tower is where we store the books. As sort of a gradient. Oh, yeah, that would do it. Alright, to avoid the arches... Maybe like that. It won't be efficient to climb the stairs because they don't link with one another. Alternatively... Yeah, I'm gonna do it an alternative way. So instead, I'm going to move where the arches are to be horizontal arches here. My only worry is that we'll have, like, roof collapse, but I might as well collapse the roof now rather than later when it's, like, way, way, way more important that I don't do that. Come on, I want to... Where's the arch here? Like, it's not letting me... hit the arch. Game. I want to get the arch. Only one of each? Well, for now. Priority is building the tower, not other things. I'm going to change the design entirely, in fact. Because now's the time when, you know, nothing is really all that permanent. So this was a 25 book bill. I think that was a 10. Yep. Alright, what is the... you know, even as this is now, it does have reasonably high enough stability that I might not even need the added extras. I can live with this. Archless. What we really need is more clay. Deer. We still have 200 meat and like hundreds of other food crops, so I'm not too worried about pushing for that at the moment. Alright. So, if we are making a glorious library, I think waiting until we have the ornate bookshelves and storing our books on ornate bookshelves makes the most sense. So I'm not even going to bother building regular bookshelves yet. And I'm going to wait for the nice ones. I think it's probably worth the wait. The other thing is I would like to have some sort of fence here inside. I don't like the look of the animal fences, though. I mean, I'll show you what that looks like. Even if we did, well, I guess we could do the pretty wood. The problem is, like, there's it sits in the center, which is unfortunate. I could do a Merlin, but that would look weird, maybe in its own way. What I'll do is I'm going to shrink down the center hole a little bit. And then see what, like, the decorative fences look like. No, I can live with that. It's not as horrible as I thought it would be. The problem with the Merlins is, like, they're bulky. And they look inelegant in what would otherwise be, like, an elegant setting. Which is what my hesitation was about. We're down to 0 tiles. Jobs for digging. Board Drake. I'm going to have you mine instead of cook. And then Radlock, I'm going to have you cook instead of construct, because I have plenty of other constructors. Although you are a carpenter, but cooking will come first. Essentially, I want more clay. We need clay. But I like the look of this. Live with this as our design. And then the last thing we need to move up is the lectern, so that it can have a research speed bonus. And I'm sure I'm going to move these things around, especially after we get the other research stations. And then we'll move the bookshelves up. All right. Now, if this is going to be a fermentation room, I can leave the torch in there. I don't think it's going to cause much harm. But once everything's moved out of here, I'll get it in the fermentation room. And we can work eventually on getting beer brewing. I may need to queue up even more clay digging. We are almost into winter, so I'm going to lose access to easily being able to find deposits. I may also want to start sowing my own trees, because we did a mass cut. I have a lot of wood for a long time, but starting to put the trees back where I culled them could be wise, so that we don't run into long-term wood shortage. That's probably good for now. Okay, everyone has a hat of some sort. Terrific. Do trees not regrow? They do, but not when you, like, full cut all of them. They'll spread around an origin point, though. What I'm saying is, they do auto-germinate, but when you clear cut like this, they won't easily get put back. So putting, like, a small cluster of birch, and a small cluster of maple, and a small cluster of oak. This will help to put back what we had cut down. So, just a few spots. It doesn't take much. All right, carcasses, none. Wildlife, sort by. Let's hunt a few deer. Yeah, might as well use these saplings. I won't end up storing in the long term. Exactly. I think temporarily it wants me to, like, roof this up so that it can be a library, because it's not under a continuous roof at the moment, so it doesn't count as a room. Because it's, like, not inside yet. So I'll fill the centers for now, and then in the long run, I won't. Oh, deer group left. I might have lost the opportunity to do that hunting, but whatever. How's our cooking? I haven't checked on that in a while. Okay, we have plenty of food. So, I'll end up moving the fermenting area over to that spot soon. I'm just trying to get the library going first. Do I have light sources? Not yet. It should be a decent amount of clay for now. All of the chronicles that we need for the bookshelves are done, and now we're just waiting on the handbooks. We're about to set into winter. Pretty much everyone has like a hat, except for Quantum and Raveno. Most of them are going to be pretty warm. I'll keep an eye on the ambient temperature in their like sleeping quarters. And then the other thing I wanted to do is I'm going to remove all of these older grow zones once the crops are out of there, so that I can, one, tile around the perimeter of the base, and then two, plan smarter crop fields for next year, because we have a insane amount of linen. I've got 850 linen right now. Like, I don't need that much. So just adjusting what we're getting so that it matches our needs, because that is not the case right now. Come on, just finish that. You're killing me. If I wanted some sort of skylight, the other thing I could do with this, as the floor here, is to put like a metal grate platform instead, which will not block all the sun. So it will end up as an enclosed room, but then visually it will sort of be more open. It's fine. And these bedrooms down here are going to be less prone to temperature shock, as they're really subterranean and well insulated. So yeah, we might want braziers in there if it gets really cold, but like 50 is okay. And here we go, first winter. It's already snowing, like clockwork. I'm glad I got the clay digging in, because it would be really hard to do it now that everything got snowed over. Alright, the cooldown timer is about a week for a feast if we want another feast. And I would like to start to work on these study group events as well, but I might need to micromanage the colonists to actually get this stuff built, because they are just doing everything but. I think I will do, let's see, the last of the harvest here. I don't think anything's going to reasonably grow anymore up to a new growth tier. So I'm just going to pull all crop that was harvestable and get rid of the fields. My hold event button disappeared. About time, Jesus. Hold event, hold event. It's like, I have been. I've had multiple feasts. Silly game. Well, building the pathway around the perimeter has been going really swell. Building the floor or the ceiling of the library, and my colonists are like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to freeze our researcher. The Tower of Frozen Knowledge. Red Mist is like, what the hell, guys? Come on. And I agree. I have like no other construction tasks queued up except for like 2 tiles. But they just keep skipping it. It's not like a stability thing. Stability here is plenty fine. It's a, would rather be working on other tasks thing, I guess. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval Tower of Knowledge, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow islanders.